also, the other thing I thought about this is that if I do that, then that's a pair of ears. So that paper can also carry my ears, so that I don't have to listen to what he's saying. And so he doesn't have to speak to me, but all the answers to the questions are carried on that piece of paper. So then everything he says is going to be valued because the paper's going to carry it. So no matter what answer there is, my statement is going to be, we'll put that on there. Because if I have to listen and hear everything, then everything he says is going to be linear, so it's sequenced. So once I've asked him the second or third question, what happened to the information that was in the first? It sort of gets lost. But if it's carried on there, then none of it gets lost. So gradually that then becomes this container which not only carries in here all this information that belongs to him in the space of A and B, but outside here it also carries the stuff that I would normally need to listen to. And I don't have to respond to it because it's actually recorded and placed inside this amphora. An important aspect about an amphora is that the stuff that's held on there can't be exposed out here. So in ancient Greek and Roman times, you would use this to carry wine or special unguents or ointments. Now these are all volatile. So if you left the top off or you pour it out, it's spoiled within hours. So this material cannot be exposed to normal, everyday life or interactions. So the material that goes on there cannot be exposed to normal scrutiny. So just asking the meaning for something, or asking how they feel, or asking what's going on, are all normal, everyday questions. And when you do that, you expose, break the container, and you start to expose some of that material to scrutiny of its scale to an ordinary life. And if you want to make non-ordinary things happen that are going to affect a person deeply, then your role as a facilitator, and hence the whole use of the notion of clean, is to keep your stuff, out of there. Not only your stuff, but just everyday stuff. And if you protect that space by not letting that intrude, then you create this very hallucinatory and magical environment in which non-ordinary things are going to happen between the space of A and B. But they'll only happen like that if I guard very jealously the space out here and protect him at A and B from ordinary questions of daily commerce. If I ask just an ordinary question, it profanes the experience. So that's some of the nature of what an amphora was, or is. And so I'd like you to think about that basic notion in terms of what the space of B is. And I want to protect that space so it's not broken by some ordinariness, and then the stuff just gets exposed and it hasn't finished its carrying across to where it can be really useful. So if you have this in a vineyard and you break open one of these in a vineyard, doesn't matter. There's plenty more where that came from, and also it doesn't have much value sitting there. It only has value when you carry it out of there and to somewhere else. And then it has value on a table and at a meal. But it has to be preserved right for that moment. So that's part of my role out here as a facilitator, to preserve that information. And then it has its value in the exchange between A and B. So although it's just a statement there, there's actually quite a lot to it.